We covered a trailer a couple of weeks back for a game called Redfall, which looked like Back for Blood / Left 4 Dead with vampires. Um, it doesn't look good from a technical standpoint for this one. Microsoft promoted Redfall would have 60 FPS capability on the Xbox Store until a recent update, which probably means there's some kind of technical issue on this thing. So Microsoft have promoted Bethesda and Arkane Studios Austin's Redfall with 60 FPS plus capable on the Xbox Store up until a recent update about the console version being limited to 30 FPS at launch. It's weird. Right, when it comes to games, I'm not too bothered when a single player game plays at 30 FPS. I am when it's multiplayer, because you kind of need those things. A look at the archived state of Xbox Store page for Redfall shows that the game has been marketed with 60 FPS plus capability up until the recent update from the developer Arkane Studios Austin about the frame rate being limited to 30 FPS on the Xbox X series and S series. Now, if you turn around and said the S series is limited to 30 FPS, I would understand. If you turn around and said the X series only gets 60 FPS, I would understand. It seems a bit. It seems like they've screwed something up in the background.
They have.
So
they certainly have. But I actually prefer the approach where they've restricted it to 30 rather than having a choppy and shit experience while playing the game and releasing it in a state that probably it can't handle. They must have something in the code that's leaking or something that is causing an FPS drop and shuddering or whatever. In order to restrict it to 30, there'll probably be an update later on down the line once they found it out. But I think I prefer them to restrict it, so when they release and it plays, you don't have the issues.
So I'm trying to bring up this thing.
Can you imagine the bad reviews?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I probably expect a delay more than anything else.
Well,
to get it right.
Well, they've probably got money people going, you can't delay it. We need to release. And so they go, okay, we'll restrict the FPS and then it will work fine. And we'll sort it out later with a patch.
It's annoying because I was talking to my brother. He turns around and says, "We need a co-op game. We need a co-op game. We haven't played a co-op game in a while. We need to play something that's exciting." I said, "Well, the closest thing we've got is Redfall." He went, "Great," because he's got a PlayStation, so I need to check to see if it's cross-compatible. Because it's cross-compatible, then I download it. It doesn't cost me anything.
Yeah.
And then we can play, and then that'd be great because I co-op games. I think this is the Xbox thing that's got over PlayStation, is that co-op games are better on Xbox. Single player games better on PlayStation. You get that single player game on PlayStation, you can just lose yourself for hours on end, and then you have the co-op game where you can shout and run around like silly girls shooting zombies, which is always fun. Or the Horde. I always say this is weird because it's like I think the Gears of War. Sound like a real old man. Gears of War is probably Microsoft's best game, even with 5 and 4 being a bit weird. I still think that they feel better than the Halo games, considering that the recent Halo promised co-op and promised co-op split screen and failed to deliver on both. So, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of uninstalled that latest Halo.
I played it. I played it with COVID. I was locked in my room with COVID, so I'm shivering for the first 3 days of COVID, and then I'm just feeling like really grotty and losing energy quickly. So I was playing it off and on, and it's weird how I associate Halo Infinite and COVID.
Yeah,
it's like we were talking about Metal Gear earlier. I associate Metal Gear with really bad bronchitis because I had really bad bronchitis when I played Snake Eater. And it's one of those weird things that sticks in my head where it's like kind of, oh, I could play this game. I have a negative attachment. I did enjoy the game though. Halo Infinite
yeah.
wasn't too bad. I felt like should have been called Halo Far Cry, but yeah.
It was okay. Halo Infinite. I played it a fair bit. I got a little way into the campaign, but it didn't really grab me. Gears of War did grab me. I'd gone quite a way through number 4, I think, and I started number 5. I think I just wanted to see what number 5 was about, but it just started getting a bit samey for me. Gears.
It's wicked. Gears of War 5's 3-player because one of you can play this silly robot.
Okay.
I don't know why they didn't put a squad of 4. I would have loved that, but hey ho, don't always get what we want. So I think we're done for today. Bit of a short one in comparison to what we normally do because we're a Babster short. He'll be back next week, hopefully. He's away on holiday. He's not ill or anything. And Nigel was away on holiday, and I wasn't very well, so we had to do it today. So hopefully everything will be fine. Hopefully you should be able to find the podcasts now because we had a technical issue for the last month, which stopped our podcast getting uploaded. So I'm hoping that you're listening to this and enjoying this as much as we're enjoying putting it together. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye, Nige.
Goodbye.
And we'll see you on the next one.
See you then.